students, you might been thinking that why I have drawn all these things on the blackboard, what it means. So today we are going to learn about number 1, landscape. Now what are landscapes? Students, landscape means different forms of land. Land has variety of forms, right? It is in the land form, it is in the water form, it is in the gaseous form, right? And it is in the live form, right? We have learned about spheres, right? So there are different forms of life. There are different forms of, we can say there are different spheres of earth. So we are going from that all spheres, we are going to talk about water resource. What? We are going to talk about water resource. Now water can be in different forms. In the variety of forms you can get water, right? You can get from tap, you can see the water in river or oceans or seas or waterfalls, lakes, right? Pond. So waters are what you can find in variety of forms, and you can get water naturally also, right? By what? By getting rain. Yes or no? That is also a form of water. So water are of different forms. So today in this session we are going to learn about beautiful poem related to water, and that is in the chapter 1, landscape. Okay students, so let's start. Now the chapter starts with a beautiful painting. That painting has Kanu Patel has drawn this painting. Okay, has drawn this painting. Now we will try to describe this painting in 5 sentences. Now can you see the picture? In this picture, it's the picture of raining, right? Means it's raining there, right? Now how we can describe it in 5 ways? Let's start. Now we can come out for few points in this picture. By seeing this picture we can say that this picture is of heavy rain, right? Now you can see in the picture that girls are enjoying the rain, right? So it's a picture of heavy rain. Girls that they are going to school or means whatever, right? So they are enjoying the rain. What they are doing? They are enjoying the rain. There is a smile on their face, right? So what they are doing? They are enjoying the rain. Even other people are moving, right? Moving means we can say we can see other people also in this picture, and even vehicles, even they are moving, but there is no hurry. No one is in hurry. All are peacefully enjoying the rain. Okay, and we can also say that it might be a sudden rain, and that is why, as it is a sudden rain, that is why most of the people are not carrying umbrella or raincoats with them. But then too, what they are doing? They are enjoying the rain. So we can conclude this picture in this way, that is given in activity 1. The painting is drawn by Kanu Patel. Okay, now we will start with the poem, that is Water Dance. Okay, so let's start. So Water Dance part 1, it starts with beautiful lines, right? Now some people says that I am one thing. Now some people say that water is one thing, right? Water is one thing. But some says that I am many. Now as I told you that water is one thing, but it has many variations. It has many, we can say that we can see water in many forms, right? As I show you that in the form of river, in the form of lakes, in the form of seas, in the form of oceans. From the tap you can see the water in the form of well, right? From in well also you can see the water. Okay, so it has varieties, right? So what other says, I am many things, and even I believe water has many variations. Ever since the world began, I have been moving in an endless circle. Now, we have learned about Earth. Now, our Earth, right, is also known as blue planet. Why it is known as blue planet? Because means our 71% of area is covered with water, and that is why it is said that ever since the world began, I have been moving in an endless circle. It moves, it mixes with other water. Okay, so that is why it is said that I am moving in endless circle. Sometimes I fall from the sky, right? So it also falls from the sky, and that is in the form of natural water, that is rain, right? Natural water, that is rain. Right now it's rainy season, it's monsoon season, right? You can observe it, right? So it can also falls from the sky in the form of rain. So in short, it has many forms, it has varieties. Okay, students. Now students, in next stanza, sometimes I cascade. Now students, here cascade, it means to fall down towards downward, right? To fall downwards in a large amount, right? What? To fall downwards in large amount, right? So that is what cascade. I cascade, I tumble down. Students, tumble down means to fall down. Tumble down means to fall down. It means sometimes I cascade, I fall down in large amount. Sometimes I tumble, I simply fall down, right? Then over the moss covered rocks. Now moss means a very small green or yellow plant that spreaded over the rocks or near the rocky surface, right? So over the moss covered rock, so it fall down over the moss covered rocks through the forest shadow. Sometimes it means falls through the forest shadow. Okay, and this water is known as mountain stream. In this way, the poet is trying to explain us different types of different forms of water. First, they have talked about rain. Now they are talking about mountain stream. Students, mountain stream falls in a large amount through over the moss covered rock through the forest shadow. Okay. Now next, all the foot of mountains I leap from stone cliff. Now students, stone cliff means a high area of rock. High area of rocks means kind of mountains. Okay, so at the foot of mountains I leap from the stone cliffs, spiraling, plunging, and I am a student in next stanza. At the foot of mountains I leap from stone cliff. Now cliff, it means a high area of rock with very steep side. Okay, high area of rock, large rocks we can say. Okay, so sometimes sometimes at the foot of mountains I leap from stone cliff. Now spiraling means to curve around, to take means curve around. Okay, overthrow, right, we can say. And plugging means diving in. Diving, you know what is diving, right? So plugging means diving. So I am a waterfall. So water can be in the form of waterfall as well. Now students, have you seen the waterfall? It's so beautiful. So how it falls? It falls through the stone cliffs or through the high or large mass of mountains or stones or rocks we can say. Okay, so that is what waterfall. Now in the shadow of mountain I am still and deep. I feel and overflow. I am a lake. Now students, when you know that lakes are very deep, right, and it is filled full of water, right? What? It is filled with full of water. in the shadow of mountain, right? In the shadow of mountain, you know very well, you know that what is shadow, right? So in the shadow of mountain, I am still and stable. It is stable, right? It does not have any wavy substance, right? So I am still and deep. Lakes are always deep, right? So I feel an overflow. I am lake. So lakes are always overflow. Okay, as it is deep, so it is always overflow with what? Overflow with water, right? So I am a lake. I went through broad golden valleys, joined by streams, joined by creeks. I grow wider, broader, deeper. I am a river. Now students, the water, right, winds through broady area, golden valleys, right? You can see valleys near the river, right? So through the golden valleys, when it is broader, right, going on, right? Now with creek, now creek means a narrow area of water where the sea flows. Very narrow area where the sea flows. Okay, so that is what always rivers are broader, wider and deeper. Again, wider, broader and deeper. So I am a river. Okay, so this all are what? This all are the forms of water. Okay, now we will talk about sea. Water passes through gaps, okay, between high stone cliffs, leaving the land behind. On the waves of it, cool silver moonlight shines and dances. I am the sea. Now students, have you observed sea? Sea has heavy waves and sometimes very light waves, but it has waves. It moves like this, right? So that is what sea. And seas are always behind. It keeps the land behind, and we can see the unlimited sea, right? If you have observed, it is never ending process. We can see, if we see from the distance, we can see that it goes on, right? So that is what seas, okay, that are sea. It shines, it dances, right? Dances with the help of what? With the help of waves. Okay, now next, water is drawn upward by warm sunlight. Now it is drawn upward, right? Heavy, you know the process of evaporation, right? That is what water goes upward, right? So it is white silver droplets in air. It stays there for time being and then it disappears. This form is mist. Now students, do you know about the process of evaporation? Now just for example, if I'll give you one example, if I am boiling the water, at that time I'll see small drops of water around it, right? That happens, why? Because of the process of sunlight. Okay, here in my example it happens because of the gas, right? Because what I am doing, I am heating it because of the heating process, right? So in the same way, even the we can say our sea water or our water used to heat, right? And that gives us what? Small tiny, we can say, water droplets, right? So if you are boiling the water at that time also, you can see water droplets, small drops of water. That is called mist, right? That will disappear in some period of time, right? If you will cool it by the condensation process, by the cooling process, it cools down, right? So that is the form of mist. So here in this poem, that is Water Dance, the part 1, the poet has explained about the different forms of water. water in the form of rain, water in the form of waterfall, water in the form of river, water in the form of sea, and water in the form of moist. Okay, and many other things, lakes also, right? Water in the form of lakes. So these are what different form of water, and this water are different from one another, right? The lakes, the water of lake and sea are totally different, right? You cannot compare it. The waterfall, there is a difference, right, between the water of waterfall, right? So you cannot compare it. Each form has different identity, right? So these are what? These are the different forms of water. One is the stream, one is waterfall, one is rain, one is lake, one is river, and moist. Okay, now the difference between this we will learn in next session, while I will explain you the question answers as well, right? So this was now water dance part 2. Right, in part 2, they have starts with, in thousand of shapes, I reappear high above the earth. In the blue sky, I float. Okay. I drift. What I am? I float and I drift. Students, drift means to move slowly. Now, what about the earth? Right. Now, with this cooling process, right, with this cooling process, with this mist process, right, there are thousands of shapes of water appear in our, means we can see in our surrounding, right? Now, high above in the sky, I float and I move slowly. So that is what, you know, students, clouds. And this form of clouds are also forms because of water only. Now, have you learned about the process of condensation? Yes, we have learned about it, right? The process of cooling down of water. So this is that form, cooling down of water. So that makes what? Clouds. And you know that clouds, what clouds do? They float in the air and they move slowly in the air. They move slowly in the air. So that is what? Clouds. Okay, now in next line the poet is saying, carried by winds from distant seas, I move, growing heavier, growing darker, returning. I am a storm front. It means a mass of air. Now, when mass of air means what? Air in mass, in quantity, right? In more quantity. It means I am growing heavier. I am growing darker. Okay, and I am returning back in the form of air, right? That is heavy air. That is stormy air. That is what? Storm. When the clouds are darker, right, then that air comes in the stormy way, right? So that is what? Stormy air. Now, at the walls of mountains, I rise up as gleaming power-filled towers. In the darkened sky, I am thunderstorm. Now, when the clouds are darker, and when it's about to rain, okay, when it's about to rain and when the clouds are darker, okay, when the clouds are darker, it rises up at the wall of mountains, right? It's very up in the sky, right? We have taken this example of wall of mountains. In the darkened sky, the sky are darkened. It looks like brightly shining power-filled tower, and I am the thunderstorm. It looks like light, right? Power. It looks like light, that is power. This comes when this occurs when the clouds are darker and when it's about to rain, as the clouds are up in the sky. So what it creates? It creates thunder storm. Okay, now next line is, I blind the sky with lightning, the earth trembles with my thunder, I rage, I drench the mountainside, I am storm. Now you know what is storm? What is storm, students? You know, we have learned in the lower classes about this storm, rain, thunder, right? We have learned it, right? Yes or no? Storm means also a heavy air, heavy wind, we can say, heavy wind, right? So that is what this all happens because of what? Because of the cycle of water, right? Water cycle. We have learned about water cycle, right? So this all happens with the water, with the process of water cycle, and because of that, what occurs in the atmosphere, or what occurs? That is storm, heavy wind, we can say, heavy wind. Okay, now storms comes, storms pass, I am countless droplets of rain, I float in the silent air, I reflect all the colors of sunlight, I am the rainbow, I am one thing, I am many things, I am water, this is my dance through our world. Now here the poet has beautifully described the dance of water. So here the poet is trying to say that water is in many forms, right? It dances in many forms and it keeps on dancing, dancing and dancing, right? As it is in many forms. It can be in the form of lakes, it can be in the form of river, it can be in the form of ocean, it can be in the form of stream, it can be in the form of waterfall, it can be in the form of mist, it can be in the form of clouds, it can be in the form of storm, thunder, lightning, right? So it has many forms, but I am one, that is the water, right? I am only one, that is water, but I have many forms and I dance gracefully everywhere, right? So this is about what? Water. Water, it also has power to bring rainbows, right, in the sky. So that is also because of the process of what? Water cycle, right? So I am in many form and I am what? Water. So students, we have learned two poems, that is of water dance part 1 and water dance part 2. I hope you liked both the poem and you understood the poem, right? So in next session, what we are going to do, we are going to, I am going to explain you the question answers of this chapter and we are going to discuss it. Okay students, in next session I will explain you the question answers of this chapter, that is of this poem, that is landscape, water dance part 1 and water dance part 2. Okay students, so and even the writing work I am going to give you today, right? Whatever writing work I will give, it can be meanings, then true or false, okay? And so your writing part will be for today, that will be meanings, okay, fill in the blanks, okay, and true or false. These three things we are going to, I am going to send you the PDF of these three things that you are going to write. Okay, in next session we will write question answers. Okay, and I'll explain you as well. Okay students, so till that, keep learning, stay home, stay safe, bye bye, and take care of yourself.